Talks Tech, the podcast where we unpack the weird, the wired, and the wonderful, sometimes beautiful world of emerging technology. Now, when I say the future is wearable, what do you picture? A smartwatch, a fitness tracker, a pair of glasses that kind of sort of connects to your phone? Okay, now throw all of that out. What if your clothes could sense danger, respond to your thoughts, or express your emotional state before you even open your mouth? Anouk Wipprecht is a Dutch fashion tech designer who fuses couture, robotics, AI, and neuroscience into stunning and quite frankly ethereal garments. She's collaborated with Audi, Intel, Cirque du Soleil, and designed pieces that quite literally breathe, smoke, blink, and bite. They have a heartbeat, guys. Anouk's work isn't just wearable, it's alive. And today we get to take a step inside her world. Hello and welcome, Anouk. Welcome to the podcast. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling very well. Thank you for having me.
I'm honestly so excited. Like, when I was starting this podcast, and bearing in mind this is the first interview I'm doing, I was like, Anouk would just be a dream. You've done so many amazing things in your life. Did you always know that you wanted to be a fashion designer? Was this your vision for the future?
Well, I think because we know each other for 10 years or something. I know when I got to know of you through Sammy from Open by Anouks, who's also a really cool, powerful female in technology. Yeah, I knew when I was 14 years old that I wanted to do something with fashion because for me, fashion is something that we can express ourselves over, and I thought that was just really fascinating, you know. When I was 17 years old, I started to combine it with robotics because robotics was my other big love. Combine those two, and I've been doing this for 25 years now, so quite some time.
And I mean, it's not really something that had really been done before. I feel like you're quite a trailblazer in that regard. Was there a specific moment where, your love for fashion and tech collided? Was there a moment you were like, damn, maybe I can merge these two things and make something new?
I love fashion and the way that people dress, but I also really love windmills. It's really stupid, but this mechanic thing. So for me, kind of technology and mechanics and just our beings were already very much intertwined with each other, I think. Yeah, the first computer when it got into my life was an Olivetti. Things were still pretty big, computers were pretty big,
Yeah.
And now we're in a time that technology is really small and really easy to implement, and it makes it a lot of fun.
It's so funny to hear about the people who obviously were growing up when the computers first got released, because I think back to the phones that we had. I'm a 2005 baby, and I think what we were using at the time were bricks, and my parents are like, girl, you don't know the half of it. But thank God that you did combine these two elements of the things that you love, because you've made some amazing things. First and foremost, you got a lot of fame around the spider dress. Could you tell me a little bit about that for those who don't know?
The spider dress is a dress with basically mechanic sort of legs on the shoulders that are obviously based on a spider, and it has a proximity sensor, so when you come into the personal space of this dress, the dress is actually literally attacking you. And I have a black version, I have a white version, and I have a new version coming out that possibly is going to be pink because of girliness, so maybe I can invite you to wear it when it comes out.
100%. Oh my gosh. I would do anything to be a pink spider.
I think it would suit you really well.
That would be a dream. Yeah, that's so cool. It's I'm trying to give people the visual. Literally, when somebody invades your space, its legs just come out. Which, I don't know, are you scared of spiders? Do you tolerate them?
I love them because of the mechanical movements.
Really?
In robotics, we talk about degree of freedom. So the more degree of freedom your robot has, the more you can do with it. And spider legs, they have a lot of kind of pivoting points, I programmed something that is called 12 states of behavior. So depending on your interaction, the dress is actually also reacting, and it is very sensitive. When you walk up very fast, it's much more aggressive. Personal space is something very specific from person to person, but also culture to culture, because we might have a certain distance to each other, but in a different culture it might be close or it might be further away, so it's also about indicating and sensing that personal space, and also being able to talk about that, what is personal space and all. And that's a little bit the extent of when you're creating art, right? That you can have something or do research, that you have something that you can speak about or criticize or research. So for that notion, that dress is really special to me.
Yeah, I mean, wearing these prosthetics, I often think of them as a little tool, but more than anything a little friend. Sometimes I was talking to somebody the other day, we were talking about your hand could detect what was around and react to what is around, and you wouldn't have to think about it. to me that would be a good thing because it's a helpful thing, whereas other people were like, it feels a bit sentient that their hand is doing it and they're not. But I feel like if my dress was like defending me, somebody's in my bubble that I don't want them in, and my dress like attacked, that's cool. Like, we're on the same team.
Well, super, super cute. Because, for you, your arms and your hand, the hand in this case, it can detach, right? That's really a cool feature.
Yeah.
And, but it's really, a companion to you, right? So
and I can't wait for that, like, in the future. Like, hell yeah. Like, imagine, like, all the items of clothing that you're wearing become little companions and they all do different things for you. Like, that's insane. Like, anybody who's against that, I'm like, what? Because imagine just all these built-in tools in a really cool, fashionable outfit. Like, that sounds like the future to me. It also feels a bit deeper. Like, they're beautiful, but also they're defensive. Like, did you have a sort of philosophy behind that?
I think, my philosophy is always like the masculine and the femininity. Like, they are together, they are one. But it becomes kind of an hybridism. Instead of putting things in boxes, kind of, it all blurs together. And blurring those lines, I think, is something that's just really important, because we speak a lot about not putting things in boxes, but we are humans, so we do sort of, so where are the lines, where are the boundaries and all.
To be able to bring that to life, have that vision and bring it to life, like, as flawlessly as you do.
I see that in your work as well, because I see also behind you, sometimes you're all like girly and pink, and but you also have the black aesthetic a little bit more. It's just really fun to play with all those dynamics, and that's the cool thing about design, right? That we can do that, and that we can express ourselves through such means.
For sure. And also the synapse dress, is that what we call it?
Synapse was with Intel,
yeah. So that one has like EEGs, right? And it like alters and like lights up and stuff depending on your cognitive load and what you're like thinking. Is that right?
Yeah, that's Synapse Stress was a kind of a more internal design, in where I wanted to see what the stresses are that people have around them. So it lights up and it responds to like the people in the area, the things that are happening, but also listens to the body. So it all connects all these things together. So what is stress? What stress do we interpret when we walk around, right? And how can we show that?
Let's break it up now, and I've got a little game for you. I think you're the perfect person to do this with, but I've got a list of things, and they're more like sci-fi. I mean, I say sci-fi, but it's kind of getting real with what you're literally making in the world. But they're kind of sci-fi, futuristic themed, and I just want to know whether you are for them, whether they're hot, in your opinion, or whether they're not, whether they're a bit too far, and whether, you disagree. So, number one, I've got a tutu. You're wearing a tutu, but it grows in size with your ego.
I think hot.
Why? Just because it's a tutu?
Yeah, no, how would you detect your ego? Instagram followers or something like that?
I mean, I obviously I don't know the text there to actually measure your ego, but in my head I'm like, for example, let's say if it was a tie on a first date, and then the guy you were with was wearing a tie, and you could judge how fat his ego is based on how long his tie is. So in that regard, it might be actually quite good.
Yeah. Then a red flag tie, right?
Yeah, exactly. Maybe it glows red if they got a fat ego. Maybe that's it. Okay, secondly, clothing. I really like this one, and I do feel like this should be a thing in the future. Clothing that rewards you with cryptocurrency for compliments.
Ooh, I think that's cool, because then you're sending out signals of like the more positive you are, or it's more like a karma effect sort of.
Yeah.
So the better you do, the more reward you get. So I'm always pro to that. I think that's a really great thing.
I always think how fun would it be if like everyone expressed themselves exactly how they wanted to. They're walking down the street every day, and I feel like if you got paid for doing that, the outfits we'd see on the street would just be out of this world, like real life fashion show,
Well, we always talk about garments versus fashion, right? And I would love it to have more fashion going around, and you see that more in the bigger cities, of course, than the smaller cities and all. Yeah, but also positivity. I was earlier on, I was talking about positivity in regards to technology. For example, in the 50s, we were very excited about technology. You had a space race, you had all kinds of like really positive feelings about technology, and now we're in a time that we're really doom thinking of technology. While what I'm trying to do with my dresses is like, it's fun, it's great, come join, But I think there's just so much negativity in this world around certain topics, that I'm like, that's not super healthy for humanity,
100%. And like, honestly, that's what we're trying to accomplish with this podcast, because you're right, like, it's very doomsday at the minute, And I was like, God, we're going to release 3 episodes and get cancelled because people are just like not into it right now. But the aim is to turn it around and like bring light to the people who are doing really cool, good things with tech, you know?
Yeah, it's easy to be doomy about things, but it's harder to be positive about things. And finding those sparkles. But I think even if there's bad stuff going on, like what are the highlights there, or what things you can do as the good for humanity instead of the bad for humanity, you know. Yeah, I think your idea is great, the reward system.
Thank you, Anouk. Thank you. How would you feel about a dress that the text lies?
The dress that can be used really good or really bad. I think.
Yeah.
So, but I think it's either way good to be honest. So honesty is always a good thing. Yeah, sort of a lie detector test dress. There's an artist called Melissa Coleman, and she had a dress that you put your hands on the interface and it would give you a shock when it's like a lie detector test. So this dress is actually in existing.
Oh my goodness! What?
I say hot.
Oh my god! See, this is what I mean. It's not even science fiction, and you know the person who made it. Like, of course you do.
Yeah, I tested it myself, so yeah, I know all about it.
You've made some beautiful pieces. What does your creative process look like? What does it start with? Do you start with like a feeling or a function, or are you on the lookout for the latest piece of tech and you're like, I want to make something out of that?
It's the Synapse dress using a BCI, so brain-computer interface. I created a device called Aging Unicorn for children with ADHD, but my recent dress with brain signals is the screen dress, and it has 6 screens around basically the wearer with pupils, and the more workload, so the more stress there is, the bigger the pupils get, and less stress, the smaller these pupils get. So it's kind of a really fun reactive dress that you can really see the focus of the person.
Yeah.
When I have it on, people are really like, whoa, what's happening? And when you explain that, like you're measuring the workload from 0 to 100 and it switches between 20% and 80% sort of, and your pupils do too. It's a visual display of what's going on inside of your head sort of, you know, and that makes it really fun, I think.
It's taken expression to a new level, like it's taken what's inside outside, which is really cool. How do you actually do that? Because you do all the programming and coding and stuff as well as the design, right?
Yeah. Sometimes I collaborate, sometimes I do it myself, but my background is basically fashion design. Then I did interaction design, machine learning, and robotics. I'm also a teacher, so when I teach, I already have here, like this is an Arduino, and if anybody wants to get started with electronics, this is a really fun thing to do with. You have basically an input and an output. So the input can be, in the case of the spider dress, it is a proximity sensor, right? The input in the case of the screen dress and Synapse is the brain-computer interface. So that collects the data, so any sensor that you can connect. It goes to a computer board, can be an Arduino, Raspberry Pi, customized device. And then you have an output. So the output can be smoke for my smoke dress, the eyes for the screen dress, the mechanic movement for the spider dress. So that's how I work. So you have an input, the computer board, and the output. So this is doing the sensing and this is doing the effect sort of. So that is basically in a simplified way that's how my systems are working. Of course, it's a little bit more complex. But yeah, if you want to say I have a heartbeat dress, for example, the dress picks up on the heartbeat and it shows in LED and in colors what your heartbeat is doing. So it does boom, 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 boom. And if you're more stressed, it goes much faster. In this case, the input is the heartbeat sensor and the output is LED, right?
Yeah.
Can simplify them kind of like that. But then, of course, you use design, you use specialized technologies to broaden that out, whatever you want, sort of. So yeah, that's an easy way of thinking of any project. If you want to start a project, right?
I do. I definitely do. Yeah. That is so cool. Like, yeah. And like, I thought so many times, like 3D printing and all this, like I love fashion so much and I'm like, but where do you start? But you just simplified it for me. I'm gonna watch this back on like repeat and learn and figure out how to do it myself. Do you like test it yourself, get to wear your own piece during testing?
Also, yeah.
Oh, that's so fun. And then to go outside and see the public's reaction to it. It's like your little baby, I imagine.
Yeah, during COVID, I had this. I was in Florida, and yeah, I did want to keep a distance, so I made a dress with like things in the waist that would go out to keep a distance when people came too close to me, and I was wearing it in the park just to see like how people would react, and it went out, and people were like, "Whoa, what's that?" And I'm like, "Well, you're standing too close to me." A boundary here.
Move along.
Yeah, it was really fun to see the reaction of like normal people, not people at an event, but like normal people in the park. Like, oh, I had no idea that this was a distance, you know, or that it's actually.
Yeah. And I literally love that you serve all the time as well. Like, you always are committed to the bit when it comes to like fashion. You always look gorgeous. Whenever I've seen you, you're in this like, you're in the theme, and I just absolutely love it. And like the fact that you're testing these like incredible like garments and like all this incredible stuff, like just in the local park, I like love that. I feel like that has the same energy as like Spider-Man filming in Glasgow and everyone's filming it, you know, like I would kill to see that happen.
But well, that's the thing, because you can make couture and only wear it or present it at like fancy events, but that's not reality, you know. So that's just the fun thing. That's also with you when people see your arms, you know, it's also kind of artworks, right?
Yeah.
You also are like this bionic girl like walking around people's
I know. And because you make such like outrageous pieces in the most amazing way, I bet you probably get people being like, yeah, but I love it, I want it, but like people are always just saying, where do I wear it though? Where do I wear it? Every day is an occasion. Wear it in the local park, wear it to the supermarket, you know?
Yeah, well, and it also inspires people to get started with electronics themselves. They're like, oh, what is this? It's new. I've never seen this. This is really fun. And I try to get with my work a lot of more females in the tech scene, right? I like to make drones and robots and automatic cars and all, but not every female likes that. But if they see a robotic dress, they're like, hell yeah, you know? So it inspires a lot of females, like, oh, I want to do that. I'm like, okay, pick up a computer board and like some electronics and start it, you know? And that actually gets a lot of females into this field through just the playful notion of it. Because technology can be very boring when it's presented to you, or very playful and fun, right?
Yeah.
And playful and fun and the curiosity, I think that is something that sticks with people. And that really can get people inspired to get into this. So yeah. That's my other mission.
That's amazing. I love that. Like, yeah, you just can't ignore a dress that glows up and like has legs, you know? No one can ignore that. It's universal love.
Yeah.
So looking ahead then, what's the future of fashion in your eyes? Do you think like all clothes will be smart? Do you think they should be? What's your vision?
I think they should be, because currently we are one of the problems with the fashion industry is we buy, because fashion industry says this is hot and everybody buys into it, and then as everybody buys into it, they say, oh, it's not, but this is cool, so we buy into that, right? So that is kind of one of the problems with the fashion industry, that we buy too much garments. That's why I love people that start to make their own garments, that get second-handed garments and restyle it to their own thing just by getting a sewing machine and making your own stuff. Just now, a lot of like our wardrobes are really big, so I'm just wondering, like with smarter pieces, would our wardrobes shrink because you more use it like a leather jacket? You keep it with you for a longer time, and it's precious to you because it knows you, it knows your body signals. So that is one thing that we can kind of go against pollution and look more at sustainability. Definitely think it's only growing. Like what I see when I started this all like was beginning of 2000s, and now there's so much around it. People try to productize it. People do all kinds of stuff, from health to even like my field. Like it's a really fun field. You work with spacesuits sometimes with exoskeletons or prosthetics, and basically anything that has to do with the body. So you see both the field grow, but also the products grow that come out of this notion, because technology is small enough to put in garments and now, right? So yeah,
exciting, because that was the problem we had with prosthetics at the start. It was like, I think I became the smallest or the youngest person in the UK to receive a myoelectric at one point, because it was just like, sorry, it's like way too small. Like it was literally just a waiting game. It was like, you're just gonna have to wait until it gets smaller, and now we're there. There's no limitations anymore.
That's really cool, because we've been in contact since you were maybe 6 or something, and I've seen you guys grow, or maybe you were like 6, 7 or 8 or something, and I saw that whole process grow. So when I saw you detach your hands, you and all of that stuff, I was like, yeah, cool.
My new favorite party trick. That's so cool though. It's like, so our fashion is not only getting to know us and lighting up and defending us, but we're also tackling things like fast fashion. Like what? I saw on your website in my research, you said on there, our present bond with technology will morph into personal connections with interfaces around us, which is like really, really cool concept. And for anybody who's maybe a little bit hesitant to that, or anybody who's watching right now, what do you want their takeaway to sort of be?
I think currently, like what I always say is that technology came into our lives to help us, but currently we have smartphones, we have laptops, and we have this really big rise of us just being overwhelmed by the technology around us. And one of the reasons is because our smartphones don't listen to us. They don't know our stress levels. They don't know what we're going through. They don't know nothing. We think it's a smart device, but it's actually not so. What would happen if these interfaces are connected more to our bodies, to our schedules, to our agendas, to our stress levels? Like, how would we interface in different ways, right? Can we get more out of our screens, more into the real life, more conversing and expressing ourselves through other means, sort of, and that's a little bit what that is about. And I think, that's always about innovation, not taking, the status quo always for what it is, always developing on like new possible things that can maybe help us a little bit better than kind of the old things that we still have. How can new technologies enhance that to make us feel more connected to our own world instead of everybody else's? Mental crisis is also on the rise, right? Because of a multitude of reasons. So how can new interfaces help that sort of? And I think body-worn interfaces or fashion tech and such things. I think that's one way that we can explore that.
Okay, finally, I've got some quick fire questions for you. Okay, first word that comes to mind. Favorite piece you've ever made?
Oh, I think that's a really hard thing, and that's always what people ask me, but they're all my babies, so I cannot say that.
Okay, fair enough.
I like them all. I think every design has some kind of peak interest of mine at that moment of time, so they're all my babies.
Okay, what's one thing people misunderstand about wearable tech?
That you only should wear it in like more extreme situations or a gala or something, but it's just really fun to just make something and wear it to a club in the evening and just see how happiness can be extruded by you just wearing a thing that is silly or beautiful or something, like just make something and wear it out in public, see what it does and how many smiles you're gonna get.
I love that. And finally, also this is for my own knowledge, do you have a fashion show planned, the next fashion show? And if so, when is it and can I go?
I have a series of events that are happening, mostly tech events, so you can always watch my Instagram and I'm going to send it to you as well, but mostly more tech events than fashion, because tech events give me the option to get into the audience and see fashion and such things. But there's some shows in the Netherlands and in Hamburg on the 18th of September, next conference. So there's some things coming up in that regard.
Perfect. How exciting. And like you said, we need to follow you on Instagram to be able to see all this. So I don't know if you want to plug yourself here. Where can we find you?
Sure, it's just my name at Anouk Wipprecht, so you can follow me there. I'm mostly good with updating about when events are happening. And so sometimes I'm also doing like online workshops and all if you want to get into technology, so you can also look on that, how and what sort of. So and again, Tilly, I would like to invite you because I lived in America for a long time. I'm back in Europe now, and I think I would love to see you in one of the new dresses soon. So.
Oh my goodness, such a great little spin-off episode. We host our own catwalk. How fun! Anouk, it's been so good chatting to you. Thank you so much. You're like genuinely such a trailblazer, a massive inspiration for me and loads of like women. You're just an absolute gem. I cannot wait to see you in the flesh and work with you in the future. That's going to be amazing. But I wish you the best. I can't wait to see what you do next. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, and thank you for inviting me to your show.
Thank you. Thanks for being the first one.
Bye, sweetie.
Bye. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you Anouk for being our first guest on the podcast. Definitely do make sure to check out her work at her website or follow Anouk Wipprecht on socials. And if you like the podcast, make sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe, or recommend it to a friend, leave a review. Recommend some people that we need to get on because I'm filling up these calendars. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you